Hello, Key Biscayne. It is Wednesday, November 11th, 2015. As the No One's Listening show. I'm Rafa, your host. To my left is Griff.
Hey ho.
To his left is Anna.
Hey ho.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, was that loud? I'm sorry. I meant hey ho.
To her left is Manny.
Sound check. Doing my sound check. I'm not even on. I don't even see myself on there.
I only
Check.
said hey ho because of Jonathan.
Oh, there it
Most
is.
of us were on.
Well, we were on the radio. We weren't on the recording.
Oh, well, that's always good for the people that are listening to the radio.
No one's
Okay.
listening.
To Manny's left is G-Man.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Coming in loud and clear.
And this is the show where we talk about stuff from the key and all that kind of discuss the issues of the day. Start how we always start. Well, we usually start with trivia, and actually Manny's got a great trivia for us today.
Well, okay, so here's a bit of trivia that somebody should definitely get tonight. If someone's listening, someone's going to get this. Every year in the Little League football program, the Key Rat football program, we give an award to a player who meets certain criteria. And it's not being the MVP. It's, sort of a whole all-around perseverance, pride, respect, sportsmanship, that kind of thing. And so what's the name of that award? It's not the Heisman, but it's like the Heisman. It's what's that award called? That's given every year at the end of the football season. The Key Rat football team just finished this year. We're down to one team just because too many other sports going on. And they finished strong. They lost in the semis. And one player from that team is going to get his name on a trophy. That trophy's at the rec center. What's the name of the award?
305-361-8557 if you know the answer to that question. Call us up. Moving on. Weekend talk. Let's start it off. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I didn't party, but I did go to an opening of a new gallery, of an existing gallery that left Wynwood. We've talked about these things before. Sorry, off-key topics, but it did move up to Little Haiti on 63rd Street and Northwest 2nd Avenue. And there was complimentary valet because they were, refusing to let you park on your own. And they had,
Because of
cops.
they were worried
because
about
of the
the neighborhood?
Yeah. And so it was all these somewhat hipstery and somewhat fifi people. And the cops were just like, Mercedes, go! Range Rover, go! Da-da-da. And it was really awkward, but whatever. We've talked about gentrification 1,000 times on this show, and it was interesting to see the beginnings of a new neighborhood, possibly, because Nina Johnson is the owner of this gallery, Diet, and it is one of the more well-known galleries in Miami.
That's where Churchill's is up there, right?
Churchill's
It's
is
further north than Churchill's.
It's further north than
Oh,
Churchill's.
really?
Churchill's
Wow.
is on 50-something.
Yeah.
50-30.
And it's not on Northwest 2nd Avenue. Churchill's somewhere else. It's on Northeast 2nd Avenue, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then that was Friday night.
Cool.
Yeah. And Saturday night I went to another artsy thing. It was a performance, but whatever.
Was it good?
It was good. It was good. It was at Locust Projects. There was an artist called Martha Friedman. And she's a professor at Princeton, and she has these cool sculptures, and it's worth checking out. And during Basel, they're doing more performances with this ballet guy from Princeton also. Really cool.
Cool.
That was my weekend. Oh, and I ate at La Camaronera on Sunday, and I love that place. Shout
Yeah.
out. Flagler and 19th.
Good stuff.
Around there.
I had a good weekend. I went up to New York. See
That's
a great
right.
live music venue, Madison Square Garden, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was tremendous. Won tickets to a Grateful Dead and Company. It's it's the new incarnation of the Dead. It's 3 former members, not 4, and John Mayer, who's playing with them. Which I thought John Mayer, bubblegum
He's
tongue
an
and all that
amazing
stuff.
guitarist.
This guy could bring it.
Wow.
There was a guy at the wedding I went to who had gone to one of these shows from the same tour, and he said it was sick. He said it was too John Mayer-y, but I'm like, man, John Mayer's good. So.
Well, to John Mayer, to me, if John Mayer's what I saw is great. The
Yeah.
band was jamming, rocking. New York was amazing, but Rafa, I heard you went. Tell me about your weekend. You guys went
Well,
an amazing weekend.
Yeah, I told you guys last week I was going to Harbor Island for Austin and Mary Tellum's wedding, and so I did. We got there on Thursday. Harbor Island, a really cool place in the Bahamas. Much different than I expected in the sense that it's so much more a town than a tourist town. At least, I heard that it gets packed during Christmas and stuff like that, but it's alive. It's a real town. It's like people live there. They're happy to live there. That's another thing. Nobody was like I expected.
You know why they're happy to live there? Because really rich people go there and
Well,
spend a lot of money.
they do
and
that
they
in-
love it.
They do that in Bimini too, and they hate it.
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Not as much anymore.
No,
Not in Bimini.
well, I mean, in Bimini, everybody seems bitter to me.
You're right. They
And
are bitter, and
at-
they beat you up and steal and kill you. But,
Really?
But well,
Yeah.
Bimini has crime, but Harbor Island that's like another level.
Everybody was so nice. Everybody, it was just great. And we had a house, and they had the wedding was at like this nice hotel, which was really nice actually. But we were in the house, so we were like in the town
It's awesome.
with views of the ocean and all this stuff. And so we ate really well. We hung out on the beach. We went to all these hidden beaches and stuff like that, exploring in the golf cart, stuff like that. And then, oh man, so many cool things happened. Like the first night, like Austin went so hard that
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
he had all the events like really early, right? So every event started like at 5 o'clock. And so, yeah, like
5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, 5 in the afternoon. So it's like we get there for the reception, the first night thing, like we're all there, kind of small thing, real casual. And by like 6:30, they served us these goon-based smash punches that
Your face.
were all rum, right? And so, I mean, I was holding it down, no problem, because I've been drinking like a
He's
madman.
been drinking every day.
Yeah,
You've been
and
drinking wine.
huh?
You've been drinking wine.
No.
It doesn't matter.
There's a
'cause
variety.
when I was there, everybody was like a couple, and it was like they were all subdued and like, I haven't had a drink in so long, and I'm like, all right, and clack. And so everybody's getting hammered around me, and Austin, the first night, man, he like an hour and a half, he was like, woo, he was way beyond, and he toned it down, but then he stepped it up again. Went to a bar there called Gusty's.
That was near
later
your
in the
house,
night,
right?
and we go to it's right by our house, and everything's
Yeah.
super close, but this one was literally walking like next to the house, and we get there and we're playing pool. He takes off his shirt,
Oh.
It's hot there.
and then Glenn takes off his shirt, and I'm like laughing.
You take off your shirt.
Glenn takes off my shirt.
That's awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah, I bet, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Then the wedding was Saturday. It was really, again, in a little church.
Is it the pink church?
Yeah, the little
That
pink
you
church
had
that
showed
shows
a
you guys a
picture?
picture.
Rafa, I heard a good story of something that you did that was like one of the big hits. Well, I understand that you were
okay.
late in getting back, but I heard that you put together a photo book for the
Oh yeah.
couple. What was that all about?
Yeah, I've done this for
That's
one
what I
other
heard.
friend.
It's
For
your
how to
go-to.
Well, yeah, but I don't do it for everybody. But I did it this time.
It's a nice
special.
gesture.
Yeah. So what I do is I take all these I take a Polaroid camera
I've seen
and I
your
buy the
pics.
film,
Yeah.
and then I spend the whole wedding getting everybody to come and take a picture. That's it's much more. What's it like? The pictures come out really raw looking because I tell people like I get them in like the best positions.
Is this
of it.
when Glenn took your shirt off during the
No.
pictures?
No.
That was a different time?
It was wedding
Okay.
night.
All right, go ahead.
And so we take all these Polaroids, and then I get them to put it in a book while we're at the wedding and write a little something to the couple, and then I give it to them as a gift,
Cool.
And it came out sick, and everybody was super happy about it. So that was cool. And what else happened? So
What about you, Griff? What about your weekend, man?
My weekend started actually last show. I ended up doing 3 nights in a row at our legendary local watering hole, Keyhole.
Oh,
Wait a second.
Jonathan's become a regular there.
The theme, I see a certain theme here. Rafa, okay, got the whole crew drinking. Now your weekend started on Wednesday at this show.
So it started on Wednesday.
Started on Tuesday night at the corner.
But anyways, I did that, and on Saturday, actually, I was able to go to the auto show at South Beach at the Miami Beach Convention Center, and that was great. Funny crowd, nonetheless. Seeing a bunch of people, take pictures next to the cars. But besides that was my weekend.
Okay, so hold on, because I know I went on for a while, but I got the best
not done.
part of my trip. Sunday night, okay? These guys invite me to go to dinner. The last of the crew, we stayed. Everybody left Sunday, but then there was like a couple people who decided to stay till Monday instead. And so they had plans to go out to the fanciest restaurant on the island. And it's like $100+ per person to go to this place, right? And when they told me that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bail on this because I don't think $100 I just didn't trust that the restaurant was going to be that good, and I just didn't. I don't know. I already spent so much money, and I was just like, I'm not going to spend $100 on this meal in the Bahamas. It's just not going to be that great. I'll meet up with them in an hour, and I'll be cool, you know. So, turns out the meal was actually really good from what they told me. But either way, I go on my own, and I go to this janky little bar. And I'm sitting there, and this guy's playing covers, and he plays like White Christmas, and he plays this other song that I'll do in the What Are You Listening To? Because it reminded me of something. But then I'm talking to people, and when we're hanging out, and this guy comes, and he's hanging out, and he has a paintbrush in his hand, and I'm like, you paint, or what are you doing with that? And he's like, you want to see something cool? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to see something cool. He's like, come with me. He takes me down to this warehouse, really more like a studio. The whole thing is covered in cardboard. The floors, the walls, everything is cardboard.
So local dude?
Yeah, local dude. I get in there. He tells me you can't take any pictures. You can't show anybody what you're doing in here. I'm like, this is what I live for, you know? Let's go. I get in there, and it's all the craftsmen and the artists in there work all year to put on a Junkanoo parade that's a battle between two clans on the island.
Yes.
And they told me you can't show it because nobody knows the theme yet.
No, it's private.
They can't know the other.
This is one of the clans?
Yeah, and they're all in there working on these things. There's 100 uniforms. They said there was 150
When's
people.
It's around New Year's, right?
Exactly. On Boxing Day and New Year's.
Amazing.
And it was so sick. I was like,
So
oh my
cool.
gosh, this is
This
exactly
guy
what I
just
came
pulled you
for.
out. Just pulled you out and
You're like, screw the
Expose you.
$100 dinner.
And so I'm asking
Look
them
at
all these
that.
questions, like, how long have you guys been doing this? Like, who comes up with the themes? Who's the designer? You should have seen these pieces. I mean, they were like 2 stories tall,
Amazing.
like humongous things, you know, that they build all out of cardboard, all covered in like sequin everything.
Did you get some ideas
and
for
stuff.
July 4th?
Yeah, I got a million ideas. All I did was talk to them about how I run the 4th of July parade, and it's a shadow of this. I can't believe you guys do this for a whole year, no pay, just hanging out here, you know? Oh, it was so cool. It was so cool. And so the guy was like, yeah, don't take any pictures. I was like, I'm a photographer. Like, can't I just, like, you know, I tried to ease in because half the guys were, like, looking at me like, why did this guy bring this guy, you know?
Yeah.
And I was, like, trying to be cool about it. I was like, okay, I'm not going to do anything today, but let's see if I can, like, get an in here, right? So then the next day we were flying out, and I was like, I'll go in the morning. Didn't have time in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's it. I'm gone. We go. Flight gets canceled because of that stupid tropical storm. Go back. Run right back to that studio, and I'm in there. And finally, the guy was like, you want to take pictures? I'm like, yeah, let me take pictures. So he let me take pictures of all them working, all the stuff, and like all the gear. I tried to make it like I didn't have enough confidence with them to be able to like get in there right, you know. I would have to be there for like a week to really do it right, but
eventually it's like, I'm not gonna name you or anything here. No one knows where I am.
I know, but they were worried about Facebook.
Except for all
Apparently
my friends on Facebook.
Apparently this has been a problem, so you know, that's why
Of
they say
course.
it, you know.
For competition, they keep it secret.
And so yeah, it was just cool because I just didn't think, I don't know, it didn't occur to me that there could be a bunch of artists on the island working night and day to build this thing. They said they start in February and they finish in December.
Wow.
To do this. It's
good story, man.
We start on the float when?
The week before.
The week before July.
That's the week before.
June 25th.
The battling clans on the key start their attack like the day before. So, what about you, G-Man? Weekend talk.
Oh man, that's a tough act to follow right there.
Right?
A lot of passion, a lot of adventure there. I actually went to Boston this weekend.
Again. Talk about passion and adventure.
Oh.
It's getting hot in here. Rafa, take off all your clothes.
So the girl I'm currently dating is a Boston native.
Nice.
And her sister was having a apparently legendary costume party in Boston. Well, actually,
post-Halloween costume party?
Yeah, it was 90s themed, and she said you should come up. I have a costume for you. Don't worry about it.
Ew.
It wasn't Elmer Fudd again, was it?
Well, exactly. So I said, okay, well, that sounds like, you know, locked and loaded. Let's do it. It couldn't be a bad weekend, right?
The metaphors are great.
So I show up there, and the costume turns out to be troll dolls, like the
like
90
naked, like
yeah.
The ones
like
with the hair?
nude suits,
Yeah.
nude suit troll dolls.
So
And
exactly,
matching-
nude suit, exactly.
matching
yeah.
you and her?
So I'm in a nude suit, and it's pretty revealing. I mean, it's tight, and I wasn't that comfortable. And probably the worst part about it was that I had this like the neckline went from like shoulder to shoulder, like it was a woman's extra.
So you were a
large
hairy
that I was
chested
wearing.
troll doll?
Yeah, it was pretty
Harry
bad.
troll doll.
And I had the wig and everything. And
What color were you?
I was the orange one.
We need some pictures, Gannon.
Yeah,
Come on.
we didn't see those.
I have pictures. So I said, oh, this is cool. And so we go by our parents' house before the party. She's like, oh, we should, my mom really wants to see what you look like. And so I have to meet her dad.
Looking like that.
Yeah, a conservative Israeli man. Wearing nothing but a nude bodysuit. So I'm standing there. It was a little bit awkward.
Well, you know
And
what?
I think you followed up
clearly
Rafa's story quite
disapproving
well.
of what,
You know what you tell them? You
Young
tell them,
people
G-Man.
do.
You say, hey, nice to meet you, sir. It's all upside from here. Trust me.
Yeah, right?
No, at the end of the story is just that, I did, what made her happy, and it was appreciated, and we
Sounds
had a
like
freaking...
sounds like a
and
great
the-
weekend.
and the-
Better than Rafa's,
and
actually.
the-
You had a date.
And the costume party was legit. Everybody was dressed up, and, Bill Clinton was there, and Happy Gilmore. It was pretty good.
Nice.
That's an A-list
It was
crowd
high
right
end,
there.
so I had a
for
good
sure.
time. So that was my week.
I'd say you did a good job on following up after Rafa's story, man. That's pretty good. Meeting the father
Good
in
weekend
the troll
overall.
suit. Yeah.
A long weekend for Griff and pretty damn good for everyone else.
Yeah, it was a little rough. It's
What else?
funny. It's
Oh,
funny.
because we hung out on Thursday night.
You know
I
what's
just
funny
remembered.
is that when you go to your local watering hole, keyhole, the crazies come out at night. Because it's
Go
true.
on,
You
go
got
on.
you got sporadic ages. You got anything from 21 to 65.
You never
And
know what you're going to run into.
You never know.
Okay.
So fun times, good times.
Good stuff. All right. Real quick, I don't think maybe you guys do have something, but I'm gonna ask. There's a little segment we call "What are you listening to?" and I'm asking what you're listening to. I'll tell you real quick mine. Only because we're pressed for time, because I forgot even to announce that we got this jazz duo over here, 90s Color. They play at the Corner on Tuesdays and around town, and they're going to play a little set for us right at the end of the show.
Where? Here in the studio?
Here in the studio.
They're
Here in the
here right
studio.
now?
Here.
In the studio?
They're here.
They're the duo?
The duo.
But there's
It's
four
a
of them.
trio. It's a trio with two guys. So
What are they called again, Rafa?
90s Color.
90s Color. They play at the Corner.
Yeah.
That's where you met them. We'll hear about that
Tuesday
later.
nights.
What about your music choice?
It's just the cover that the guy was doing at the bar before I met the artist guy. It was
White Christmas.
It was White Christmas was one of them, but no. Then he played Sacrifice by Elton John, but like a reggae style, which I hadn't heard the song in a long time. It doesn't get played on the radio anymore or anything, and he played it in a great style. And it was funny is that it's like a bunch of guys watching football, okay, me and a bunch of Bahamian guys watching football, listening to this one guy with an amp and another guy with like with what sounded like a washboard, but it wasn't a washboard. And he's just playing the song, and then
Sacrifice.
like four of us start singing along. Like we're like, okay, well, everybody was jamming to Sacrifice, and so I wouldn't put it on the radio because it's too slow, and I couldn't find a good like reggae cover. But that's my jam.
Awesome.
Sounds pretty good. I've been listening to Dr. John. So,
Yeah.
So the song for me is "Such a Night" by Dr. John.
Oh,
I'm gonna go, even though I haven't been listening to this, but Alan Toussaint passed away, I think yesterday or today. I'm not sure. Recently. Yesterday. And he's a huge New Orleans artist, and I've seen him at Jazz Fest before. I've seen him at random bars. He was so important to the music community down there and all over, guys. You guys need to start listening to some Alan Toussaint. He's played with everyone, and he's just funky. And I'll go to honor New Orleans with "It's a New Orleans Thing." And he sings about Tipitinas, and he sings about all these local places. And
cool.
Alan Toussaint.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Lots of love.
Nothing for old Manny. That's like 3 weeks in a row, man.
I mean, I'm
Almost.
listening to stuff all the time. So whatever's playing, I'm listening to it,
give me your
and I'm
favorite.
probably dancing.
Your favorite song from Saturday or Friday set.
Well, you know how much I love Jack Straw, and so I called that they were going to they were going to open with Shakedown. They opened with that, Shakedown Street, big tune, but they played Jack Straw to close the first set. So,
Nice.
So I got to hear that.
And I'll find it and I'll put it up.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I sent you the
I got it.
Dropbox. You can put those up, right? You can
Yeah.
throw them in there. Check them out.
My music choice for the week is going to be Sizzla. He's a reggae artist who's one of the most prolific artists ever. He's extremely controversial. He's been banned from a lot of countries in Europe because of his extremely controversial views. But his music is pretty good. Every song has a good rhythm to it. Break Free is going to be my recommendation.
All right.
Nice.
Gotta
I've
put
heard
that
of
on
him.
radio. All right, moving on to the talk of the town.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, so what I wanted to tell you guys with that is that pecan sales are starting soon. And if you want to get fresh Mammoth Georgia pecans for $12 a pound, contact the KB Women's Club.
Woo!
You guys eat pecans?
Yeah, actually we do.
I like pecans.
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 And
Pecan?
what are they? If
The
they want to
Keystone
provide them
Women's
for the
Club?
show, we'd be happy to talk about them while we're munching on some. Send over some samples.
The Key Biscayne Women's Club.
Yeah, send over some samples of your pecans or whatever other nuts you may come across, and we'll taste test them here on the show and talk about it and get people over there. Same goes for cookies and that kind of stuff.
Okay, the Lighthouse Run is this Saturday, November 14th.
Who's in?
Nope, not me.
Cricket.
No.
Cricket.
On the 5K.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was going to do the 10, but I don't want to be dead. So 5K it is.
Awesome.
You should look up the record and try and break it. By cutting corners. I think if you
Trivia next week.
if you find out what the route is and you hit all the corners on the apex, you might be able to shave off a minute.
Out of curiosity, there was a picture in the Islander News in the late 1980s of me by a puddle, just standing there while all the runners went by.
You were like what, 2?
Well, it's probably
5?
3 or 4.
Okay.
And Islander had it.
I was off.
I'm actually going by the Islander tomorrow. Look to the archives to get it because I know it exists.
Nice.
Awesome.
Time to recreate it.
Just so
Let's
I want
let's make a
have some
T-shirt.
motivation
the
to
shirt.
run that 5K as fast as possible.
If you make a
Hope you guys
T-shirt, we'll
come
wear
out
it
to
and support
me
you.
for my 3-mile run.
Yeah,
All right.
we'll support.
KBLHR.com if you want to find more information on that. Maybe look up the route so you can cut those apexes.
Is it root or route?
Just
Tomato, yeah.
I'll just Benny from Sandlot and jump
Grenadic
fences.
banana.
Is it
stuff.
pecan or pecan?
Let's call the whole thing off.
Roads?
Cons. And then finally, the Round the Island Regatta, brought to you by the Key Biscayne Yacht Club, is on
28th. I'm doing that.
the 28th.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the
It's good that
paddleboard?
you know because I forgot to write down the
No,
date.
it's going. I think it's the 28th. No, I'm on a boat. I'm on Jack London's boat. So
Oh,
I'm looking
nice.
forward to that. And I just read today through their Facebook page that Stella's sponsoring it, Stella Artois,
Ah.
and they announced today that they're going to send over their their Airstream or whatever those vans are called. Those big Airstream bus.
Oh, yeah, like
The Stella Artois Airstream bus is going to be here at the Yacht
Sweet.
Club for that party, for
Awesome.
the post regatta party. So,
so we gotta
if you're not on the
capture this.
regatta, definitely be at the party.
Okay.
What was that date again?
Where we go, G-Man. Hey, get Boston down here for that one. That's like a theme party, I think.
The date, Manny?
November 28th, I think, is what
November
Rafa
28th.
forgot to write down.
And if you're interested, contact Matt Bramson at 786-972-4580.
Rafa, you should cut that piece right there and send it to Matt so he can put it up there on the
On the website or something?
something.
On the Facebook?
And so they can send over some pecans and Stella Artois.
Gotcha. It's Wednesday, November 11th, 2015. It's the No One's Listening Key Biscayne show. It is 5 to 7 p.m. if you're listening on the recording. And what's the trivia again, Manny?
The trivia is, what's the name of the award that's given to the most outstanding player in all facets of life and the game for the Key-Rad football program? There's an award given. It's the player's name is put on the trophy that resides in the rec. What is the name of that award that's given out every year?
305-361-8557 is the number to call. Let's not forget to give the answer because I forgot to do that
I was about to give the answer like I do every week, but I realized that I actually know it this week, so I wasn't going to say it. Because G-Man gets mad at me, too.
You know it. It's your question.
All right, there you go. Always got it.
That trophy sits right next to the Key Rat Ultimate trophy.
Is that in there, too?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. It occupies like half of the space in there.
It is pretty big.
It was almost too big.
That's great. I didn't realize it was in there.
All right. You guys want to talk? We got a new segment. It's called
Nail salon gossip.
All right.
Nail salon gossip heard around the key.
What's like a quick? What's the quick genesis of this segment, and what's the juice after that? Give us some.
Well, it just came up. Honestly, it's just made it up. But I was talking to the guys before the show started because I wanted to find out what happened to Vito's, what's happening to Vito's, and I did ask my nail lady what happened to Vito's. The nail salon's close to Vito's, so I knew she'd know. Plus, nail salon ladies hear a lot.
They know a lot.
You have to be. I know this, but all the women listening out there, all the girls listening out there, don't tell your nail salon ladies on the key anything, because they will tell everyone on the key everything. I hear it all. Okay.
What's
but I'm not gonna. I know I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna give it here. But I am giving it.
You're gonna give it here.
Well, what
part of this segment.
No, if it relates to the key in particular, and establishments on the key, sure. So I asked my nail lady. I said, "Did Vito's close? What's the deal?" She said that Vito sold the business to someone else who's gonna run a Vito's, but that he's not gonna make that many changes. It's still gonna be Vito's, but someone bought it. But then that's also nail salon gossip. Jonathan, I think, knows more info, and I want to compare the two stories.
Yeah.
All I know is that it closed.
That's it.
And that's it. That's all I know.
Well, maybe the nail salon lady's right, and we'll see a revival of Vito's with a similar menu and a similar feel. But honestly, Vito's without Vito
is not
really Vito's.
Right?
But I mean, and I loved going to Vito's, but the last time I was there was kind of weird.
It's not even Vito, by the way, guys.
I call him Vito.
I called him Vito all the time.
What's his name?
The chef?
I have no idea, but it's not Vito.
He goes by Vito because that's what I call him.
I call him Vito and he responds. So
yeah.
I call there and I'm like, hey Vito, how you doing? Hey, it's Manny. Yeah, I'd like to order the bolognese tonight.
Always.
He goes, okay. One order the bolognese. I go, yeah, Vito, no, but just the sauce, Vito. No, what? I want just a Tupperware thing or whatever container of the sauce. Just the sauce of the bolognese. Just the sauce. I go, yeah, Vito, it's Manny. Oh, it's just the sauce, Manny. Okay. You got it. One bolognese, just the sauce. You want me to heat it? No, Vito, fine. It's cold, fine. Okay, thanks, Vito. Just the sauce, Manny. Okay, we got it. So, hey, Vito, can you put a little bread in there? You got it, Manny. I'll see you in 10 minutes. I miss that. So I would get my noodles and I'd heat the sauce. It was Vito Bolognese.
Yeah.
Whatever the gossip is and whatever did happen, it's a shame. It was one of these places. It wasn't a strip mall like everywhere else is, but it did have this atmosphere to it. And,
yes.
And honestly, I didn't even care how dirty it was because I really enjoyed being in that spot.
I love that place.
We didn't go enough.
I wasn't a fan of it, honestly.
I was a fan.
I went a lot. Probably once every maybe month, and then probably order the sauce twice a month.
Just the sauce, Manny. And that concludes our segment of nail salon gossip for the week.
I look forward to next week. And listen, ladies out there, don't worry about it. Spill your guts.
No, ladies, no.
All right, so let's go to news. We're looking on time. We're good.
I hear the church bell ringing. Must be 7 o'clock.
So, the biggest piece of news, I guess, there wasn't much news around the key, but you guys can comment. The village got this consultant to do a a parking assessment for the whole village, city hall, all that crap area, village green and all that stuff.
Because that's a big thing right now as far as where we're going to spend our money, and one of the biggest priorities is traffic and parking.
Yeah, they want to build a parking lot on top of the
4-story lot.
On the current staff parking lot that's right next to Winn-Dixie.
So what went down this week?
So this guy comes in and he says, you guys need between 105 and 124 parking spaces. So that's okay. That's something to know. But more interesting was these little tidbits that he said. He says, Q scanners are unique in people's resistance to walk even a tenth of a mile. They won't park at they leave the spots they leave a lot of spots open all the time because they're not right next to where they want to be.
Yes.
Okay? And
Yes.
the guy was like, he said it in a way that's like, you guys are ridiculous. And then,
This was at the council meeting?
yeah. And the other thing is that Key Biscayners also tend to park in a way to take up 2 spaces. Okay? So, basically, I mean, it's like a double whammy of car people that are just bad. So then, I wrote here, the conclusion is that Key Biscayners are lazy assholes. They're too lazy to walk to the place that they want to go, not even a 1/10 of a mile, which is nothing.
And that's very
it's
true.
Like, you know, it's like parking at the closer to Winn-Dixie to get to the Village Green. No, you can't do it.
I always say, if you don't want door marks on your car, just park further. Nobody parks there.
What does that mean? I mean, these people that need a place to park, you're telling me they just shut it down and go home because they don't find a parking spot within a 1/10 of a mile? How do you reach that conclusion?
That part I don't understand. What he said was that there's a bunch of parking spaces that are left open, like behind the rec center, but not at the Village Green. And they're always kind of open because nobody will walk that little distance to the Village Green if they have to go to the Village Green. They just kind of circle around looking for a better park.
Even at the
Winn-Dixie. How you
Winn-Dixie.
reach that conclusion?
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate, G-Man. I agree with you.
They were out there for a week
you see
just
the
watching.
same cars circling for an hour just because there's not an open space right in front?
No.
I've seen cars circle at the Winn-Dixie lot.
I don't either. I live in the Gardendistrict, as you know. Come on, man. I'm not going to laugh every time you say that.
We love it, Manny. We love it.
All right. And so a lot of people there, they don't have parking. So where do they park?
Across the street.
Across the street.
At the Village Green and stuff.
No, and
Winn-Dixie.
in front of where they're going to build a parking lot.
Yeah.
And that stretch across from Winn-Dixie. And in fact, in my building, I have 2 spots. So I have a spot for my cart and my car. But last week they did a renovation in our driveway, in our parking lot, so they closed it for the week. I parked both my vehicles over there every day without a problem. You know, so I don't know how much the parking problem. The problem is traffic. The problem is going to the rec center at 3 o'clock after school, or at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock when either kids are getting picked up from the rec center, or going to practice, that kind of thing. The SUVs backed up and down that street that are just sitting. I'm telling you, Rafa, go over there with your camera and take a picture of people just sitting in their massive car, texting, sitting there, or talking on the street or whatever, which is fine. That's what we do in our community. But, you know, they're just there, double parked like nothing.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Wait, can I say something real quick? Because the SUVs came up. I also think, and I don't know if there's a study on this, but cars have grown a lot in the past 10 years. They're bigger and bulkier.
That is true.
The spots, I don't think, I also think people are lazy assholes and take up 2 spots sometimes. But the spots are made for a regular sized car, not these monsters that people drive. You know, I don't know. There's something linked with that as well.
And we're lucky because we have golf carts here too. So
I
that
drive
makes
a small car,
that makes it a little smaller, you know?
I think they take up 2 spots. Maybe it's because they don't know how to park their big cars. I think they'll fit in those spots, you know? They just don't know how to park them.
I think it's kind of ambiguous in a lot of those, like especially along the Village Green, where the spots are. It's just a long strip.
Yeah.
And and all of a sudden you show up and there's a golf cart right all the way at the end, and then a Suburban parks in front of that, and then the golf cart pulls out. It looks like the Suburban parked inefficiently. And it goes right back to the guy saying, or whoever this firm was that said, oh, people aren't willing to walk. I don't know where you draw that from. If you go to any huge event, parking starts concentrated towards where you're going, and it spreads out, and people find a place to park. I don't know how you draw the conclusion that somebody's not willing to park within a 1/10 of a mile. That sounds like bogus statistics to me.
think that if they build that parking garage on top of that other parking, it'll fix it, or will people not be willing to walk all the way?
People won't go up to the second level.
yeah.
People are going to do loopsies to stay on the first level.
Who's going to park there?
Then I'll go up to the second level if I need to park.
I go
But
far.
honestly, I've never had to park near the community center because I'm always riding my bike or a motorcycle or a golf cart.
Basically, the parking is going to be special event parking, Rafa. That's what it's going to be, special event parking. There's a basketball game tonight. There's 3 basketball games tonight at 6, 7, and 8 o'clock. So we need parking for that. That's what it's going to be. We can be out there like with flags and stuff. $5, no blocky. No blocky.
I got the OB.
You know how much that study was, by the way?
How much?
A little under 10.
Three parking spots.
A little under 10K.
Rafa, you
For
could
them
have
to
done
tell
that
us
study
how
for
many-
like 5.
Just a study?
Just a study for the guy to say.
For the guy to say people are lazy assholes?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I just encourage somebody to think about how you come up with the fact that somebody drew the conclusion that Cuban Skinners are unwilling to walk this amount of space. I don't understand how you come up with that. You see a bunch of full parking spots and you see ones that aren't full otherwise. Do you keep tabs on the car that's doing loser laps for an hour?
I mean,
Yeah, look at the.
I don't understand how you decide that Cuban Skinners aren't willing to park.
Gee, man, that's a
far away.
good call. I mean, to look at the events on the Village Green when they have the Winterfest and the, all the different things that they have out there. I mean, there's 5,000, 4,000 people out there, and there's not really a
I think it would be a good generalization to say a lot of people aren't willing to walk. I've been to restaurants with people before, and they're just try to get the closest spot because it's built into them. It's like, just park where it's all open there. We have legs. We can walk. A lot of people don't think that way. I don't think narrowing it down to Cuban Scanners is a real fair assessment.
no, we don't know their methodology, but
Either way,
hopefully we got our money's
it's
worth.
bogus and it's a boring topic.
Nick, wait, let me ask. Speaking of special events and buildings and that, how did it go on Thursday?
No.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about that? Was Thursday.
It's not time for 90s color yet?
The
All right.
the Gardendistrict.
We had our
The block party.
The block
yeah.
party.
Oh, we didn't
yeah.
talk about that.
That's an added topic by Anna.
Isn't
Yeah, last
Okay.
Thursday, November 5th, we talked about it on the show here. On
that
the Wednesday before.
unincorporated area around Galen and Sunrise?
It was over in the Garden District.
Oh.
Oh, the Gardendistrict.
And we talked about how we put the signs out, remember, and they pulled the signs back and all that. So, we had, it was awesome, man. Griff, you were there.
Yeah, it was a great party, and thank you very much, Manny. It was awesome.
I didn't do
To you
anything.
and your friends that put it together, because it was good. You had a great speech.
You had a speech?
Yeah, he actually did.
Manny.
It was really good. Had a good time. Luckily, nobody got hurt on the street.
We were vigilant of that for sure, and it was nice. We had about, 150, 200 people.
Yeah,
showed up
Nice.
it was
there.
great. Great turnout.
From all over the island.
And people brought food and stuff?
People
It was a
brought
potluck,
stuff.
no?
Yeah, potluck.
Chicken
There was-
tenders, chicken fingers, you name it.
Everyone was fed and
Chicken.
given beverages. It was really nice. It was really nice.
Awesome.
Tons of kids running around.
Did you get any political support out there?
We coincidentally, we didn't have a single member from the village council come to the event. Not a single one. Theo was obviously out of town.
Yeah.
He was at the wedding with you, and
Taking your shirts
and then
off.
a couple other. Myra got back to me, and she had another event that night. I was like, you can stop by after if you're around. But she had like 2 or 3 different things that night. And she told me, a week or so before. So, and I invited Lucho over, who also had another previous engagement. So, but the people who went, I think, really enjoyed it, and I met people that live in my neighborhood, my new neighborhood over there in the Garden District, and I met people that didn't even live in the neighborhood. There were people from all corners of the island.
Garden District. Garden District. What I want to know is what you said when you were in that picture that I saw on top of the golf cart.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
that
well,
was great.
so-
That was a great speech.
That was a great
Yeah, that was,
picture.
people were like, we should say something. Someone should say something. You know how it is, and because everyone was kind of out there around a certain cause, and so no one was willing to get up there and say anything, and so I was like, I'll do it. They asked me, and I said, okay, I'll do it. And so I went up there, and I was like, listen, Lily Warner has something to say, and she's like, but I'm going to say it for her, So I let her off her face. She went white, Lily.
And how was the speech?
It was good. I just talked about the fact that thanked everybody for coming out to
The Garden District.
and just talked about how space and open space here on the Key is something that we cannot keep missing opportunities for. And it's not about, we've talked about it here, it's about the cumulative effect of space.
Yeah.
It's not about a field that where you can play baseball as much as I love that, or a soccer field or whatever it might be. It's about tapping into one of the strengths of our community, which is community and community interaction.
Yeah.
Whether you're at the Winn-Dixie or at the Village Green or at the club or wherever you are, you run into, at the beach, you run into people that you know.
In a
And
parking lot.
Anywhere. And it's about creating more of those spaces where people can come across each other. And people, people seem pretty open to it. They were excited, and
Cool.
hopefully, whether it's this property or not, and I think that the council really recognizes it, and so, let's see what we can.
Good.
Did they chant your name?
They did not chant my name.
Whack.
There was they did not chant my name. I'm not running for council, not mayor, nothing like that.
We don't need council members. We need
Activists.
people like you. Yeah, activists.
Activists, man. Island activism.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, good. That's good, man. You like that.
Yeah, it was good. I wish I could have gone, man. That's like
Same.
right up my alley. Let's do another one.
Let's do another.
Let's see. Look at this thing.
How much
so
else?
you-
Okay, no.
there?
I'll talk about this one. I thought this was fun because.
Do you have any police blotter there or anything like that?
No, I
Anything
wish
exciting?
they never do the police blotter anymore in the
What?
paper.
You know what? Let's go to the music, man.
Let me do one
One
thing.
more,
I
one
told
more.
I told him
Alright.
5 minutes.
Alright.
And so, so this is a weird one. So this guy Prudence Gill from the Key.
Oh, that's right.
He designs this art piece. It looks like it's like a long rack to put on a wall, or like you put it on a whatever you call something that's sticking out of the wall like that. And it's just a bunch of like driftwood and other things, and it was called
It's found objects, no?
yeah, and it's called Ghost Swamp. Okay? And this guy's an artist from the Key, and he goes to the Art and Public Places board, and he says, hey, I got this piece. Would you guys be willing to recommend it for the village to buy it, And so the Art and Public Places board reviews his price of $9,100, and they say, yes, we recommend it to the council. It gets to the council, and they have a little debate on it, and they vote 4-3 not to buy it, even though the Art and Public Places board is supposed to be the one who, when they recommend something,
They were set
And
up
it's-
for that.
They make the decision.
Exactly.
They make the decision.
and it was $9,100. It's probably the cheapest thing they would ever buy or have bought. Okay.
What were the?
So
how did
what
the vote
happens?
shake out?
So
Do we
here's the
know?
thing.
How did the vote shake out?
Oh,
4-3?
I don't know the actual people who said yes. But what happened? Okay, this is
That
kind of
could
my
be next week's
speculation.
trivia question, actually. So.
They got a technicality, which was this guy went to the Art and Public Places board instead of them going to him trying to find the art. Okay.
It's usually an open call.
Yeah, it's an
Okay.
open call for artists. So everybody would come in and they would review and they'd say, okay, this is something worth buying.
And the council
But
votes
he
the
went,
final vote.
Exactly. So he went to them. So they used this technicality to reject it. That was pretty much the reasoning for the people who rejected it. But I think, and this is purely my speculation, but I think that the guys who voted no because they didn't like it. They saw it and they just didn't like the piece. And they were like, we have a technicality not to buy that piece.
I'm not putting that in my living room.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
And honestly, I don't think I would have bought the piece.
You would have been on the no.
but that's their prerogative. They're allowed. They're there to like overrule if the council's there to say give the final okay. So if they don't like it, they don't like it.
Yeah.
Wow. So
But
it's
wait,
like,
But
when
they
okay,
said that
question.
it wasn't because they didn't like it.
Question: when is the open call usually? Did this guy give him this? He announced this thing during the open call? No, it was
No.
outside of that schedule.
Yeah.
So that's not cool. That's not allowed. That's how the system works.
Yeah.
Boom.
So
Whether they liked it or not, I'm surprised people voted for
well,
it.
good story.
If
Listen, get us that information next time. The 4-3. We want to know who the
Also-
second Art in Public Places committee is. The one on the council.
Yeah.
'Cause, there's two
who
of them
actually
now.
voted?
Another question is, if it's a shelf going on a wall with found objects, what kind of art in public places is this?
It was going in one of the government offices.
Oh, okay, it's not.
Yeah. Rafa doesn't agree with it either. By the way, he would have been on the other side.
I don't know. You know what? I didn't do my due diligence, so I don't know everything about the piece. But I'm just looking at it.
But in a usual open call, you obviously say no to a bunch of stuff that just isn't the right fit, aesthetically. So they can totally say no because of that.
But the board did say yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's weird. Yeah, exactly.
You
They
want to
did, they
turn my
did.
mic off before I start moving things around? I know you're going to introduce the next guest.
Well, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put we're
let them
gonna
sit
get
here. I'm going to get out of here and let them sit here and talk a little bit. Or where are they going?
well, one guy's gonna go on the drum set, and the other guy's gonna be standing around playing
Maybe
his
he'll play
sax.
sax.
And we'll, you know what? We're going to put Rodrigo right here. We'll put Rodrigo right here because he might want to talk a little bit too about the band and that kind of stuff. Now.
Okay, that'll be
I don't
cool.
know.
Yeah,
Let's
that'll
call
work.
him in.
You want to call him in?
Yep.
Am I in the way?
Tell him to press the intercom.
So what we're about to hear is this band called 90s Color, and they play jazz at the Corner, which
On Tuesday nights,
if you listen to this show, I talk about the Corner all the time because we're always there.
if we go often.
And it's such a treat that they're in here.
Yeah.
So Arturo's walking in right now to take a seat at his drum set. And
they play other places throughout the week as well. Maybe we'll ask them that too.
they can actually, if you guys want to talk, you guys are mic'd already, like from that distance. So if you want to tell us a little bit about. First, I think you guys met at UM, right? That's what I heard.
Yeah, we went to
Music school.
All of us, yeah, UM Music School, Jazz School. We all went there together at the same time. Me and this guy, as well as everybody else from the 90s Color.
Cool. And so it's such a treat to have them here. They're getting set up right now, and I'm trying to fill dead air. So
I
went to UM also, but I went to U of M, University of Michigan.
This is Rod, by the way. Rod
This is
Gaia.
Rodrigo Gaia.
But you went to what? I'm sorry?
I went to U of M, University of
Michigan. Okay, well,
So
that's awesome.
Rod is here. Rod is a friend from forever.
From the
families
team.
even know each other. That's how tight it is. And he's the one who kind of brought this all together. I told him to come to the show to document what we were doing out here, and he was like, "Well, let me see if I can get the band over here, and then we do a double trouble, get the radio show documented, get the bands playing on the radio." And so that's how we got this together. So
Rodrigo is a member of the band.
Oh, is he? He's
Yes.
This is the fifth.
Well, today he's the third.
I'll be playing the egg shaker in the background.
All
Nice.
right.
I'm kidding, no, I won't be. But
We got excited about that.
I haven't mastered the skills yet. I'm practicing.
Rodrigo, he's our graphic, visual, moving pictures mastermind.
And yoga guru.
And yoga guru,
Yeah.
Nice.
motivator, all around, good vibes.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was funny. I was looking for something to do before going to to the Slap and Tickle, the late night party at Bardot, and I was like, oh, I'll go to the corner and see what's going on, and then I fell in love with the jazz guys, and I became the local drunkard there.
I was going to say, Rod is also another local corner
Yeah,
Tuesday goer.
Corner light.
yeah.
Corner light.
And it was
Tuesday corner light.
and it's been every time I bring somebody, these guys just kill it.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for me to invite other people that gets to the point I go by myself and you end up seeing everyone there.
Absolutely.
It's a nice little vibe.
Cool. All right, so you guys about ready? Okay. So we can't do sound check out here because it's such a mess, our studio. And I think I've told everybody
And
out there that we
live.
need money. So if you guys have money, we'll ask you for money at another point in time. But so they're going to start playing, and I'm going to adjust the sound while they're playing. And I think it's going to sound good by the time they're about 30 seconds in.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Sick.
Awesome.
Oh man, you guys are killing it.
Guys, by the way, we got listeners texting in that it sounds awesome, so it's sounding good on the radio.
First time playing on a boat like this.
You mean in the studio?
You mean in the studio, yeah.
Every time we're on the boat, we're playing like Bruno Mars. So.
Studio.
We're in the studio.
Oh, in the studio. You want to play another one?
Yeah. What was that? What was that? What did talk to us about it?
That was called Pinton, and I wrote that one when I was back at UM.
Awesome.
Now we play it differently than we used to back then, but it's a tune that has we've been playing it for so long and it still works.
Awesome.
Pecan, you look like you were working the palette there on the drums.
Pecan, yeah.
Beautiful work there. It got a little messy there.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you need more sticks.
Yeah.
Because this isn't a visual medium, he actually had extra drumsticks, and he like threw them on the snare. He's been playing in such an abstract way for such a long time that it's fun. It's fun to see these guys really play in a pretty abstract way, at least taking it with music.
Yeah.
I once saw Arturo playing. This was one of the first times I was at the corner. He slowed down one of his solos so slow that the crowd there was just waiting to see where he was going, and it was slower and slower. And then he gets the top of the drumstick on top of the snare, on top of the cymbal, and he just spins it and makes it go like this. Just scratching right on top, and I was like, oh my god, this guy just...
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that. Are you guys doing anything for, speaking of the art and the canvas and the Pinton, are you doing anything for Basel? You guys going to be part of any of those events or playing at your gig? Where are you guys at? Where can we see you guys?
Well, every Tuesday we're playing at the corner, and we'll be doing that during Basel as well. So, but I don't know. I mean, I guess that's coming up. We're not playing anywhere as of yet, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
We have a video coming out. Rodrigo filmed a video along with another one of our friends of us playing in the studio, like doing like a little concert recording session.
Cool.
And that should come out by the end of the year, hopefully. So it'll be up on YouTube for you guys to check it out. Yeah, that's another thing we have coming up.
How about some more music, man?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So there were
Best show.
we're at two songs there, right? That
Yeah.
first song where it just started with some kind of, I don't know what that first note you played, but Chico, did you hear Chico start howling? He only howls for ambulances like that, man. You got him, you lit him up, and then it was kind of a high note, and then you ended with a low kind of that song. Tell me about that song.
That was actually. That's actually an original of mine that we've been doing for some time now, and it's a really open song. Like it can really go anywhere. You know, it's pretty much free after the melody, and even more so with just the two of us. You know, so we just kind of, it's different every time. You know, it's just whatever happens is just kind of what happens. So that was a nice song. Yeah.
So you say just the two of you. You guys are your band is a quartet, right? But you're just the two of you tonight. So how do you guys? I mean, come in and out. What are the other instruments? And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we got a bass player named Brian Tate, and a piano player named Derek Fairholm, who are two amazing guys who play with us all the time. You know, every week, and yeah, we've just been like growing together for a long time, and everybody's like contributing songs to the project, and yeah, it's sounding amazing now.
What's awesome is how you guys can split the group up and still play, and it still sounds completely coherent and amazing. I mean, it's just dope.
How many years have you guys been together?
Well, like we said, we met in school, but we weren't a group back then. We really started playing together as a quartet when the Corner started having jazz on Tuesdays. So we kind of helped get that night started. And that was maybe like December of 2012.
3 years ago.
I remember the first gig was the re-election. So we had to wait till Obama gave the speech or something to start playing. We thought we were going to start at 9, and it was like 11. You know?
Is that
so
where
like,
the 11 p.m. started? No,
I don't. Well, things just get later and later in that place. But anyway, we've been playing that gig for almost 3 years, and
did they find you, or you found them, or a little bit of both?
It's a little both. Yeah. And it's great to play there, man. We love playing there. Like, well, we met you guys. We met Rodrigo there, and we just keep meeting new people. So I encourage everyone to go and check us out.
Hell yeah.
Well, what about getting all four of you guys out here?
Let's do
What
it.
about getting all four of you guys out here? You guys come back sometime, and
Yeah, of
If
course.
Alright,
they'll
awesome.
come back, yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear.
how about some more music?
Yep. You want to do?
Excited?
What are you guys thinking?
One more song?
Like close it out, like on this one, or?
Yeah, we'll close it out on this one. What do you want to do? Yo, let's do
Yeah, let's do a chiller to end the night.
All right.
This is homage to our bass player Brian Tate. This is an original of his called what's it called? Lost Not Found. That's right. A little bossa right here. We'll see what happens with this.
Yeah.
All right, 90s Color here on Rat Radio. It's the end of the No One's Listening show. Thank you to these guys for coming out. It's a 90s Color, man. Jesse and Arturo just tearing it up. We'll see you next week. Okay, play us off.
You guys, we got a gig for you. Chucky Downs from Call a Plumber just text me right now. He wants you guys to play his party. So we're gonna. Chucky, they're saying yes. I'll work out the details. I'll talk to Rodrigo. Rod, I got you on this. We'll figure this out. All right.
All right.
All right, signing off. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back next week.